Hello. Welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast, where our mission is to help you heal yourself so you can heal the world. Hi, my name is Noah Crane. Each week, we will bring you tips and tools and inspire you to live your most empowered and joyful life. I'm also the founder of the 3G Effect, a daily practice to keep you heart centered in everything you do by staying in a positive mindset and a positive attitude and taking three important actions and practicing these three important elements. Element number one, every day, remember to have a grateful heart and connect to your gratitude. When you are connected to your gratitude, you're connected to positive feelings and positive emotions, and therefore drawing more positive people, things, and experiences into your life. So that's so important. And also, when you're grateful, you're focusing on what is working in your life rather than what is not working. So you're keeping yourself in a positive place every day. Positive emotions create more positive things in your life. So have a grateful heart. Element number two, every day remember to ground in love and compassion. When you're grounded in love and compassion, you believe in yourself. Nobody can take that away from you. And you're in a place of love and compassion, a place of forgiveness, a place of acceptance for yourself, finding that within yourself. And when you find that within yourself, you're therefore able to also share that with others. We all want more love and compassion in our lives, don't we? So why don't we give more love and compassion so we can have an abundance of love and compassion in return? And element number three, every day, know that you are guided by God. So, whatever it is for you, whether it's God, source, higher power, energy, whatever you call that you're connected to, no, I call it God. God is inside you, God is beside you, and God is all around you. Learn to open your heart and soul to God. Ask God for guidance every day on your journey. Thank God daily for all the miracles in your life because you wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for God. God will send you messages in messengers in the most unexpected ways to help guide you towards your goals and dreams. You just need to learn to be a good listener so you can get those messages and be able to follow that guidance. I know because my whole life has changed by practicing those three important things. I was able to find my soulmate, I was able to write my book, I was able to start my podcast and meet so many incredible people, all because I practice those things daily. And I'm so committed to keep bringing you incredible material. And I'm super excited about today's guest because it's all about healing yourself so you can heal the world. Well, my guest today is doing just that. Dr. Jodie Baer is a holistic health coach and nutritionist for over four decades. She's also a cancer survivor who has helped over 30,000 of her clients lose over 1,100,000 pounds. Can you even wrap your brain around that? And she's also helped people post pandemic. She has written two incredible books. The first one, 21 Days to You Best You, her solo book, best-selling book, an incredible book to really help you on the journey and be your best you every day. And her second book is a collaboration book called Healthpedia, a movement that she has started in the world that's now this huge event helping people all over the world get healthy and step into their power because without health, we have nothing. This book also, Healthpedia, is a #1 best-selling book, and I'm so excited to have her here today as my guest, Dr. Jodie Baer. Welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I tell you what, Noah, I was just getting excited. I've heard your 3G effect so many times, and I've been to your incredible World Healing Tour events. The last one that I went to was in January down in Boca, where we're going to be for Healthpedia. I'm thinking, I've got to just go ahead and do that, even though I do. You empowered me to take that inventory, and I know that you're empowering just countless people with this podcast, and I just honor and I just really want to thank you for what you're doing with your World Healing Tour, and most recently your World Healing Tour podcast.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jodie. And I'm just really excited about our connection. I've learned so much from you. And you're such an attractor of so many incredible things into your life. And you really are an example that when you believe in yourself, anything
Mhm.
is possible. And I want to talk a little bit about that. And how have you gotten that strong belief in yourself to be able to attract such incredible things into your life?
Well, and I think that goes without saying. And I'm going to ask your audience, ever had something just hit you out of the blue? I'm a classically trained vocal musician on my way to a solo performance with Handel's Messiah, broadsided by a Lincoln Continental. The next waking moment, I was face down, paralyzed from my shoulders on down in a surgical halo. That's when you need that 3G effect. That's when I tapped into myself, as my mother said to me, looking up into my eyes because I was face down. And she said, Jodie, the doctors only see what they see. They don't know who you are. Why do I tell that story?
Mm.
Because 6 months later, I said, this is not a hospital. This is a hotel room. I am tracking absolute spiritual wholeness, wellness back into my life. I smuggled a few acupuncture needles in there to the hospital as well. My mother got them in her purse and we just did our thing because I knew even at 24 what to do. But I walked out of that hotel room and I never looked back. Noah, you know that I'm a nationally ranked Olympic distance triathlete, number 18th in the nation pre-COVID. And I'm living proof that as Les Brown says, what the mind can achieve, it can and it will believe, but you've got to achieve it way, way before in your mind, before you believe it. You think, well, if I believe, I believe. No, you've got to go ahead and achieve it in your mind. Then it'll come to fruition. Just like I attracted you to me, just like you're in our wonderful book, you can attract when you don't react. And that's what I did. This is my situation. I will get through. As they say, quoting Les Brown again, what you're going through, you will get through.
Mhm.
And that is really healing yourself, then healing the world as your world healing tour manifests itself.
That's amazing that you're an athlete just already within yourself. So you've always known how to go after those things that you want. So I think that's part of what is missing for so many people is that they're more in the thought of going after it rather than actually taking the actions to fight through for it. Do you think life is about fighting for what you want?
Absolutely. And of course, how I think and you fight, but then you relax and you go in the flow. So you fight, but as my mentor, who you've had as your guest,
Mm.
my partner with healthpedia, Dr. Jim Marinaka says, shock is stress, energy is healing flow. When you stay in the healing flow, you get what you want. This is a fine time to bring up those 5 elements. Okay, you have the 3G effect. These are 5 elements, not original to me, traditional Chinese medicine. What are they? Supplementation and nutrition. Then you go and get enough rest. We don't sleep well. So supplementation and nutrition, sleep. You want exercise. Everybody does the exercise, but they forget the rest of the things that give you flow. This one is critical guidance, meditation, do it every day. And then physiotherapy. When was the last time you got an acupuncture treatment? When was the last time that you did an ionic foot bath or just a simple massage? And with Valentine's Day coming up on Wednesday, just give you and your honey a couple's massage. It'll change everything else. You'll add the sixth element of Chinese medicine. You know what I'm talking about, intimacy in your life.
Yeah, and those things are so important. Why are we so many of us out of balance with taking care of ourselves?
Because we think of the goal and we don't think of, as you said, heal yourself, heal the world. I have a saying and it goes like this: when you take care of you and your life first, the world around you is taken care of forever. So daily, that's what we teach. That's what Dr. Jim taught me when I attracted him into my life after the diagnosis of 6 months to live. I went away because I had too much on my platter. People do that all the time. That's why it's hard. But do what is easy now, and your life will become hard. Do what's hard, and your life will be easy. The hard is, am I going to do it every day? I was a single mom, I had a full time, sole support of my children. They were absolute amazing world and nationally ranked swimmers in their teens. And I was traveling for my business. My plate became a turkey platter. It wasn't the stress of my children, it's that I didn't use the tools at that point for a long enough period of time that it caught up with me. How many of you can say that it's caught up with you? You know that 98% of every entrepreneur and every business owner, a CEO, is suffering from burnout. Do you know when it shows up, Noah? It shows up after they've gone through the process for a year. I have a client right now. It can't figure out what's happening. I know exactly what's happening. You've got to slow down to speed up. That is hard, isn't it, Noah?
Mhm. Yeah, and so would you say, Dr. Jodie, that disease is caused by us in a lot of ways?
Oh, yes. It's because I didn't do those things. Even me being a health coach, I didn't do the things that I should have done in my daily self care. Those five things. The process is like what Dr. Jim, called it. And I got not just a tap on the shoulder, as I call it, a 2x4. I was almost hit by a Mack truck. 6 months to live. That pulled me back from the fight to go into that flow and stay with the flow, and you will know where to go.
Mhm.
But how many of us just learn health but we don't do it? That's what I believe. And yes, we cause that disease. And Noah, is this a good time to bring up Pristine Clean?
Absolutely.
There are two things that I espouse being America's top foundational health coach. Pristine Clean, Noah is doing it right now, so am I. There's a systematization of ridding yourself of parasites. You think, oh, well, I eat clean. Sometimes that's worse. You see, parasites live everywhere. There are over 300,000 parasites in the world. 50,000 of them can be inside any human body at any one time. Now, does that really save you from disease, or does it enhance it? It enhances it. And that's what disease is called, from parasites. You must rid your body of parasites. We've got a beautiful program you're going to hear in Boca. I have it in my chapter in Healthpedia, as I was mentored by the iconic Dr. Hulda Clark when I was a young 29-year-old woman, changed my life. But I knew
Could we
that,
talk about that as well?
oh,
How
yes, yes. And so, what would you like to know about my dear Hulda Clark?
I want to know how you started your health journey with her.
It was so random. Noah, have you ever had something that's just random and you thought it came from out of the blue, but it really didn't, did it?
Mm-mm.
You attracted it to yourself. And that's what happened with Dr. Hulda Clark. I went ahead, my youngest son was in kindergarten, and he was given the diagnosis. Remember, your diagnosis is not your prognosis. The diagnosis of ADHD. That's not my son. Had a couple of holistic certifications, nothing real big, but enough that I knew there's something more than giving a prescription drug that only masks, and then you have side effects, on and on and on. Dr. Hulda Clark was on the Phil Donahue show. Now that dates it back to 1983. Went ahead and she got me. Ever had one of those times that you just stop in midair? You go, I am not going to forget this moment. I dropped a dinner plate on the linoleum on the kitchen floor, on the tile, and it burst into smithereens. That was my cue, because Hulda Clark said, perhaps these children don't have ADHD. Perhaps they just need to grow into their brilliance. And Noah, I became like a female Indiana Jones. When she said she lived in Atlanta, I started going up to the suburb where she lived. Now, no internet, no cell phones, no nothing, no GPS. 1983, 84, no, no, no. But I did find, thinking, what is my seam? That's being in that flow. No, I saw women who hadn't dyed their hair. I saw women and men wearing Birkenstocks and people that maybe looked like they were vegan or vegetarian. I just went up to them and said, "Excuse me, do you know where Hulda Clark lives?" After 2 weeks, my son and I found her. And he said, "Mama, what are we going to do going up to the store?" And I said, "Well, all I'm going to do, I'm going to squeeze on your shoulder at the right time. And all you got to do is smile." You see, he was really cute with these aquamarine eyes, blonde Dutch boy haircut. So I knocked on Holda's door and I said, "Dr. Clark, I'm Jodie. This is my son." She said, "What can I do for you?" I said, "He needs to see you as a patient." She said, "No, no, no. I don't see patients. I'm 70. I'm retired." And I said, "But you will see him, won't you?" Smile. We were in the door. After 3 weeks, my son's life was changed. I went back, didn't share my secret with the preschool. They just said, "He's different." I said, "I know." I just smiled as well. A smile goes a long way. Then I went back to Hulda Clark and I said, "You must mentor me." And she said, "But you don't understand. I'm turning 70 this year. I'm retired." I said, "But you will mentor me, won't you?" And she said, after that, "No." And then I got her because I knew that this was my seam. I knew that that was part of the flow. And I said, "What if I'm the person to take your message to the world long after you are gone from here?" She took me in, and the rest is history. Noah, as you know, while I was being mentored by the great Dr. Hulda Clark, I wrote a gold card, and it's simply dated on this gold card 1984. You're going to see it. You're going to see it laminated down in Boca, March 1984. "I will pen the Eastern medical version of the PDR." You say, "What is the PDR?" When you go to a Western medical doctor, sit in their office, it's the red book behind them. And this is what we brought to fruition. When I found that gold card, I found it in 2022 during the pandemic, was trying to help one of my clients whose son was off the rails. They were still living in New England. The lockdown was much more significant up there for a longer period of time. I said, "I think I've got something in Hulda Clark's notes, something with this Pristine clean program that I learned from her and have used for my 4 decades." And out fell this gold card. You see, the universe said, "Now is the time." And Noah, I am so grateful that you asked me this story. It means the world to me. I hope it means the world to your listeners too, because if you have a dream, you've written it down. The good book says, write it on tablets of stone. Now we do note cards. Now we maybe put it in our phone.
Mhm.
But when it's written down, it's embedded in your soul. And that desire will come from vision to mission to fruition at the right time, right place. I'm so honored to say that you're
Yeah.
one of our 39 other authors.
Thank you so much. I love that story. And the thing is, what I love about it the most is the fact that you were not going to take no for an answer. I mean, you were always a fighter. And what is it? You have a very extrovert personality, right? And I think
Yes.
that takes you a very long way in life. And I think for those that are more introverted, it might be harder. But I just love the power behind who you are to just fight for what you believe in, and you already have a knowing in your heart that you're going to get that. Where does that come from?
I think it came from my creator above. It's
Mhm.
how he made me. You think about it, I was a preemie and was an incubator. I wasn't really supposed to make it out of the hospital. I was very premature in 1980 to 1954 when I was born. And I think there's just something about a preemie when you find that they just have that, "I'm going to make it no matter what." But everyone has that desire. And then I think about my Norwegian Lutheran mother. Boy, nothing got past her. She was absolutely the most tenacious and resilient woman I've ever known.
I,
But you
f-
see,
yeah.
that's a really good example because she left here too soon. My dad was 43 when he passed away because he was resilient and tenacious. That that Northern European way, that German, Norwegian way. But they didn't do with their resilience and tenacity that time to go back, reset, so you can stay in the flow. That wasn't part of the 50s and 60s. And so my mother passed when I was 26 years old. She was only 63. My sister and I have both outlived her because we've learned the flow. And
So
when you know that this is how you are, I think, Noah, you were part of our book that you got your why from Dr. Gary Sanchez. When you know what your why is, your how and what will come to fruition. My my why is better way. So I'm always going to push for a little more, a little more. There's a time then you've got to say, okay, I'm going to pause. So I have that check in my system. If you are an introvert, you said, this is a time rather than pause. This is my time. You say, this conversation between you and you, that's chapter 8 in my 21 Days to Your Best You book. I said, you are the president of You Incorporated. You're the only person that will never leave you. Husbands and wives may, and children at some time better. So if you have that pause and say, I've got an agreement between me and me. If you're an introvert, say, I usually pause on this or maybe procrastinate. Now it's time. You say to yourself, that inner child that we have, inner children, everyone has them, boy and girl. It's time to push. Help me push. Because what's the worst thing? If you don't, you're exactly where you were before. If you press on to your desire, you will always get that vision to mission to fruition.
I love that mission to vision to fruition. That's amazing. So let's go back to Pristine Clean. Is that a supplement or what is it? How can people get more Pristine Clean?
And without going to the details, because I'll say one thing about homeopathy, Noah, and your viewers probably know this from you, but it's not like a Spanx girdle women that you wear one size fits all. No, it's very particular to everyone. You can go to my YouTube channel, Healthpedia 365. You can see a 10-minute video. And if it speaks to you, then just reach out to me and I'll give you the simple protocol. See, everything I do is simple, sustainable, and easy to do. So you do this Pristine Clean for a rotation. Why do you do this? Because people say, oh, I did a parasite cleanse 3 years ago. I got news for you. 3 years ago, you have more parasites in you now than you did 3 years ago when you started. There has to be a systematic way that you get into the rhythm, just like the beat of your heart. Get into that rhythm, and it will make all the difference in the world. Get into that rhythm, even with your 3G effect that Noah talked about, her daily ritual, because there is a practice with daily rituals. That's what we're doing in Boca with the process. Get into that pristine, clean way, and you just are so relieved when you're even in that 21 days, and then you rinse, repeat it for a certain particular time, and then you do it again. It's a lifelong rhythm. I've got to say, that song, it's a rhythm of life. I'd be walking down the street. This is a rhythm of life with Pristine Clean. That's just it. So Noah, how's it been going for you? You've done it before. What has your experience been? Because I know we're kind of doing it together.
Well, when we talk about Pristine Clean, you're talking about the 21-day cleanse?
Yes.
Okay, it's going great. Like I said, there was a stage that I was missing to do the last stage, but I heard from Dr. Jim, who I did have on the podcast, that when you eat even healthier and even more organic, you have to do the cleanse even more. It's even more important because you're more susceptible to parasites. So I'm really excited to see what results I get now with finishing the protocol of it.
And why is that? Because if you go to McDonald's and you have Frankenfood, if there's formaldehyde, parasites can't live. But isn't that amazing that you can have this go out? I've got to say, coming up to this eighth decade, coming up to 7-0 here in 2 weeks, under 2 weeks. I got the nicest compliment from one of my husband's colleagues. He hadn't really seen me in person, but he'd seen everything about Boca and what we're doing with the symposium and retreat. And he said, "Is your wife a vampire?" No, isn't that funny?
That is
And
so
and
cute.
and what he said, because she doesn't age. Well, if the parasites aren't in me, they can't de-age me, can they?
No,
I'm rejuvenating myself.
so the parasites also cause. So what are some of the problems that parasites cause, like inflammation in the body?
Every disease that you can think of, any chronic disease, arthritis, Alzheimer's, let's go on, diabetes, cancer, it can all be tracked down to these parasites. They've got to leave, but they've got to leave the right way. And then once you've done that, then you build on the building blocks of the next phase and the next phase. Because I have a saying, and yes, my husband Bob sometimes says, we're detoxing a lot. I said, detox or tumors. Your body makes a choice.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. I think it's very important to take care of your body and to do cleanses because our body does need to, detox itself, and we have to be responsible as part of it. Why is it like not something that's taught to everybody out there? Why aren't we all have the knowledge about doing parasites cleanse, doing liver cleanse, taking supplements? Why is that such a, kept thing only for people that really seek it?
Because I think it's not for everyone. I said, what did I say? That you do it's easy and life will become hard. And in all due respect to the AMA and Western medical doctors, I mean, my daughter-in-law is a pediatric internist for very sick children. I respect what she does. If I had a broken arm, I would go to the emergency room. I would go to an orthopedist and have it set. But life is a choice. And we've gotten conditioned, I believe, in this Western society that you push, 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 like we said, fight, but you've got to be in the flow. And then you fight for what you want, and then you be in the flow. It's an ebb and flow, like yin and yang. That's what we're learning in the process and what we do. People just think, I'm going to put my health over here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going, you know, heck bent for leather on our vision and goes, oops, I guess I missed my health. Then we go and we want a systematic fix. Well, I could say now, turning 70 in 13 days, that I chose way back when not to come to my senior years in life looking at the base of a group of petroleum based pills. No, I didn't want that. I wanted vitality with my longevity. So it's a choice, but it's only for those that seek it. That's why we've got a very intimate group coming down to Boca. It's not going to be a room of 500. No, 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 because these are the people that seek this. So you've got to say, as the good book says, that which you seek, you will find. So what do you want to find in your life? See, it begins. Parasites are the culprit of the body is a miracle making machine, and it can and will heal itself. It will, 100%.
Absolutely, as long as we do things to help it heal. And do you think that people, how can you get it? We're talking about the flow. And I think when you talk about the flow, the healing flow, I don't think everybody understands what that means. Can you explain it a little more to them?
Because you get into the flow. I'll just give this as an example.
Mhm.
We had a heck of a day around the Bears here today. We came home from South Florida. Our pilot light was out, which meant our heater was not on. It's kind of cold here in Florida, hasn't it, Noah? I
Yes,
mean,
yes, it has.
it just has. So what are we going to do? Well, I had the the heating and air guy coming and the hot water guy coming and getting everything squared away. Whatever happened, happened. Now, the rookie, the unaware person would have said, "Oh, I don't have time for my routine this morning. I don't have time for my process because because I've got this, and this to do." See, your life is either about excuses that you buy into or results that you want. You choose. But I got up a little earlier. I did my walk. I did my process. You can go to drjodie.com. It's a free blog. Go into this cute little sweet Asian woman. She's sitting in this namaste pose with this towel around her head, and it says 10 rituals to rock your day. So I'm just going to say go and get the blog. Reach out to me if you want some personalized instruction. It's as easy as I start my day the night before with my lemon juice and coconut water because it happens that coconut water is great for the kidneys. So So I'm going to go ahead and do that because it alkalizes your body first thing. And then I move through my day. So, in other words, I know what the process is. I know what these 5 or 6 things I've got to do. It only takes me an hour. Are you worth an hour in your day? You are, aren't you? You are, aren't you?
A
Just
hun-
say yes
a
to you.
100%. So the
Yes,
healing, the healing, I love how you put that. So the healing flow is basically making no excuses and making sure that you're taking care of yourself every day so you can continue moving towards your goals and dreams. Would you say that's what it is?
absolutely. I got up early. I made that contract with you between you and you. You're the president of You Incorporated.
Mhm.
I said, I need to get up an hour earlier to make sure that hot water heater guy gets here and this, that, and the other. And this is the third podcast that I will have done today. And it's 1 o'clock, 1:30 Eastern. But I timed it out. I live with my calendar, found time for those things that may be the disruptors. But the one thing that's not a disruptor is me,
I love that.
me,
You
me.
don't disrupt yourself. You put yourself first every day. Your self care, your routine is number one so that you can function and handle everything that comes your way during the day. I love that.
1,000,000%, 1,000,000%.
And then when you
And
do
I want,
that, you're in the healing flow, right? Is that, would you say that?
yes, you're in the healing flow. And
Mhm.
and if you don't know where to begin, say, oh, this all sounds real good. The next step, the next right choice that you make with a meal, the next right choice that you go ahead, I'm going to get some lemons, I'm gonna get some organic lemons. I'm going to put them by this lemon juice, 2 lemons, coconut water, put it by my bedside, and I'm going to alkalinize my body right away. Just make one choice. I love what our author, Sue Kostek, fellow healthcare practitioner, in the book, in our book, the world's book now. No, as she said, you are one healthy meal away from your next right choice.
I love that. So we're always one choice away from living a more healthier life,
Yes,
a more
yes,
mindful life. And I think we talked about it that it's in every area of your life, whether it's like the people you choose to spend time with, the people you choose to spend your life with, like all these things are one choice away from you creating what you want in your life.
absolutely. Mind, body, spirit. That's why, I have the 6 pillars: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. And I just want to give a little, there's this lady in this book. Okay, I want to see your face. I've got to have your producer, but she's on page 187. And her name is Noah Crane with the 3G
Mhm.
mindset. This is the greatest mantra ever. Couldn't put it on all of our PowerPoint slides for our evening when you're going to be speaking. By the way, right after Muhammad Ali's wife, Dr. Khalila Camacho Ali, you just so deserve that spacing, Noah. And you said, you are not your past, you're not your stories, you are not your judgments, you are not what you own. No, no, no. You're not what you do. You are not your problem. Isn't that reassuring? You are the light that shines in the world. Connect with your light and shine. And you can connect with your light and shine one next right choice at a time, Noah. It's a beautiful saying, it's a beautiful mantra. And you shine your light every day on the World Healing Tour. And I want to give some shine right here. And I would love to see your shining face when I see this because they've got me on a single monitor. But Noah, let me tell you something, my dear. You could have said no to our book. You're a very successful speaker. You're a wife. You're a mom. You're this. You wear 95,000 hats, but you chose to be with Healthpedia. And you think, well, we're in the same space. World Healing Tour. We're going to be doing Healthpedia Tour 2024 after Boca is Vail, Colorado, starting in July 17th. Then we're in LA, November 13th. But you saw the wealth of what you bring to the world. Why would I put you on my stage? Because it's not my stage, it's our stage. You bring your 3G mindset. Maybe somebody resonates with me, but if they don't, they'll resonate with you or the next speaker and the next speaker. That is what the name of the game is, because we go into this space in the world, Noah. This is the first time I've ever published a book. No, little secret, I'm being very transparent. We're taking the hardcover and this hardbound book Well, now we will be New York Times best-selling authors. New York Times, not just Amazon. Yes, we're happy that we did all 13 countries in 3.5 hours. They shut us down for 3 hours because of AI. And Dr. Jim, my mentor and teacher, now my partner with Healthpedia, said, AI, artificial intelligence. I guess the people at Amazon didn't know the difference between artificial intelligence and artistic intelligence. Go and buy the book. If you're close and you have by plane, train, automobile, come to Boca. Because when you know the process, and Noah, is it okay that I go in why? I know that you had the
Yes.
amazing Dr. Jim on there, but why our event is different than other events?
Yes,
Noah,
I
let
would.
me ask you a
Yeah,
question.
let's take them through the process of what the event's going to be like. And I know that you're really interested in that. What's that compound effect that you talk about? That you impact two people and they impact two people. Is that something that you want to talk about as well? I would love to hear that.
Yes, because if I haven't, so I'm in health, you're in health and healing. If we keep it to ourselves, we each have one. We share it, the compound effect, it's two. Then it goes to four. But what does four goes? Doesn't go to eight, does it? It goes 4 times 4 is 16. It happens just like that. 16 times 16, Darren Hardy wrote in the compound effect, 16. Then it goes 16, 32, 64, 128, like that.
That's
You see,
amazing.
it's not that the AMA is better. It's a necessary form of medicine, but they're just more organized. And I had a burning desire in my heart. Let's organize what we can do with Healthpedia in the 6 pillars. There are practitioners that have written their philosophies, but everybody writes their story. Because the story that I wrote was about my young son. What was I going to do? And my story on how I this young health coach was going to find a way. Everyone wants to find a way. Nobody wants a detour. Nobody wants a cul-de-sac and a dead end. But how do you
Absolutely.
get yeah, around the dead end? How do you get around the cul-de-sac? How do you get through the detour? The detour of health is found in the action steps. You can follow us on Instagram. It's Healthpedia 365. We are giving each of the authors shine one per week. So within 40 weeks, every author is going to have their 5 action steps in our Instagram feed. It's a beautiful thing. So getting back to,
To the
I got
process.
off, I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
off track
Let's get to
because
the
I just get
let's
so
get.
excited. I can't help
No,
myself.
it's
I
awesome.
get
It's awesome, and you do so much. But I want to get to like you were wanted to do was to get to the process and what will the process be like? Why is your event so different than any other
yes,
event out there?
because just like Healthpedia, this book is different. It's a manual. You see the process. Think about your house. You've got a foundation. You've got the process are the beams and the outside walls of your house. They're the roof, the trusses. That is the process. Then Dr. Jim comes in as the facilitator, and he is the drywall. He's going to open the door to all that's going to come in. And then he puts the process in place with the drywalls. Then the speakers are going to add the paint, the wallpaper, and this kind of thing. Most speakers, you go from one after the other after the other. No, no, no. This is a flow that you will experience health. You experience the process. We'll have an interactive discussion after lunch about alkalinity of food. How do you feel? Did you have a lull? Did you have this? You will know that flow and you will experience it for yourself. Just like I said to myself this morning, I've got the gas guy coming, I've got the AC coming. I've got these 4 podcasts, 2 of which are mine. As I run my TV show, that I'm thinking, I just need to step back in the flow, do my process, and go on. What would that mean to you? You see, like I said, most of events, you're like hired in a kite. Have you ever been to one of those events, Noah, and you just feel like you need to take a nap for a month?
All the
You have,
time.
haven't
All the time.
you? Yeah. But if but if you've done the flow, you will leave there empowered. You will see,
Energized. Energized.
yes, what are the next right steps that I can, that next healthy meal, that next healthy choice, that being in the flow, writing down my process of my morning routine. It's a game changer.
So
So let me
Dr. Jodie, how does the process start in the morning? What's the first thing we're going to do every day?
we're going to walk, but we're not just going to walk. You're going to have a guide, and it's an autonomic nervous system walk. This is something Dr. Jim developed. And I will tell you, he's very soft spoken about his credentials, so I'm going to brag on him for a minute. This is the year, must be the year 1984. The gold card, and Dr. Jim was in Sarajevo for the Olympics. He was Olympic team physician, and he put a very beat up and battered bobsled team together to win a silver and a bronze medal with this process, with this autonomic nervous system walk, because there's a way that you can overexert your adrenals, and guess what? You toxify your liver with exercise, it doesn't work. But there's a way to energize it. That in of itself is key. Because as I was saying to somebody I guess it was last night, how many entrepreneurs are listening to this? How many business owners, C-suite people? Your vision, your desire is right here as a perfect 10. But what if your health is here, a 5? What happens to your vision? That's just the way it is. But if you have your vision at a 10 and you learn how to bring your health up there, what's going to happen? Oh,
What's possible?
yes, what is possible? The compounding effect. And as I've actually poked and prodded Dr. Jim for a while, being one of his esteemed students, I said, I know you don't have to do this kind of work anymore. 35,000 patients that he saw all by referrals in his first 10 years of practice. So then he went back to train people such as myself. But what if these select few were trained to then take your message to do this process along with whatever they're doing in their clinics, in with even just in your home? Noah, can I tell you a little secret about Bob Bear?
Sure.
And this one's
And
just
that's
gonna get.
that's your husband. So people that
Yeah, that's my husband. When we started dating, women, you can't change a man. You just can't change it. You got to accept them the way it is. But there was this one thing that stood in the way, because he had steak and mashed potatoes. He would change the vegetable to a baked potato. Number one, you don't food combine like this. You can find that on my blog too. That's a no on food combining. But I said, we got to change this. And you know what we had for dinner last night? We had a vegan pizza with cauliflower crust.
I love it.
It is possible with vegan cheese, tomatoes, balsamic vinaigrette dressing, and fresh basil. How good was that pizza? And he goes, I could eat this every day. I said, kind of like the steak and mashed potatoes you used to have. He goes, I know.
So
So
good.
that is one easy step at a time. And he says, no, when are we going to finish up our 21 days for our parasite cleansing? He's owned it after all these 15 years we've been together.
Amazing.
That is a beautiful thing. You change yourself, people see your change, you change your household, you change your block, then we're going to change the world. I know that we are going to partner with this process. I feel it. I'm just putting it out here, Noah. We are going to partner with this process for your next healthpedia. I should say our healthpedia tour, of course, but the World Healing Tour. And then we bring and we collaborate that way, because we'll get to 128, 264 is the next number. After that, you're already in the 500s. So no, I've got to just take a moment before you go on, and I'm sure you're going to wrap up here in a few minutes, but this is who we have attracted. Not only author speakers, world-renowned healers, people that are household names like the dream promoter, Brian Gallinger, marketing guru of Be Great Promotions. His marketing, uh, his marketing clients are Disney, Toyota, and Sony. Paul Getter, known as the internet nerd, but he's so humble. He's going to be speaking of the spiritual pillar of how to keep your spirit alive so that your business can be great. He takes private coaching people and clients from his airplane in Naples, his private jet, to the Bahamas, where he has a place, or Bermuda once a month.
I love that. I love that so much. I can't wait to connect with them. I'm literally going to be connecting with everybody at your event because you're drawing such amazing people. It's like, wow.
Tenji Collins, of TMZ, Martin Pratt is a global content creator. It gets my mouth dry just even thinking about it. Then we've got other people like like Chris Trammell, who's the author Launchpad. Then we've got authors like you, your amazing story, other authors that we're going to have our weight loss panel on. The 5 people that are on their wait list, we call them bestitarians. Make your best choice this next day. On that panel of 5 people, there's over 700 pounds that was lost, and 2 chronic diseases went bye bye: high blood pressure, type 2 diabetics, medicines gone away. Now, you always check with your physician, but then cystic fibrosis in remission because of weight loss. That's a story that needs to be told. And then Dr. Kalila, be there to just get her recipient of her Healthpedia Lifetime Achievement Award. She will be graciously honoring us by being on our board of advisors. Then Les Brown is getting the same award. The GOAT, my coach, since we got into this lockdown pandemic, I said, if I'm going to get unretired and come out after I sold my practice in January 2020, then I'm going to go global. And I'm so grateful that Les Brown is a part of that global mission. And the list goes on and on, but why would you be there? I could go on and start name dropping. I know this, I know that. That's not important. Kimberly Meredith, being a medical medium, will see in your intuitive soul. Her book, The Fifth Dimension, is lights out. Noah, you've got to have her on your program.
Wow.
Dame Doria talking about forgiveness in her Ho'oponopono prayer, the Accelerated Business School and Money and You guru. But it starts with you. What do you want to achieve? Your goals, your dreams, your desires that are a 10. Do a checkup, as we say, from the neck up, but from the ground up, to see, where do I really rate in all 6 pillars with my health? If I could get it here for just the span of just a couple of days, and if they contact Noah, while tickets last, I'm giving away a half price ticket to anyone that reaches out to me. 800-820-0584. It's 800-820-0584. All they have to do is say, I saw the World Healing Tour podcast and I want to be a part.
I love
You
that.
will not be you will not be disappointed,
No,
because your future self will thank you.
and it's the beginning of the year. So, what more than a perfect time to really take your life to a whole new level and your health to a whole new level, so you can create the vision, you can create the dream. So what are some, let's break it down. So we talked about the walk-in. What else will they be learning there? I heard that Dr. Jim is going to be giving them supplements to try to give them more energy, and they'll feel the difference right away. Is that part of the process?
Yes, it will be voluntary.
Mhm.
It will be voluntary, but the remedy that he was the lead and I assisted him with, called V-Guard, is a panacea to boost your immune system. When your immune system is high, your vitality is there. You see, energy, vitality, longevity. Jim is 73. I'm going to be 70. We're living proof. Okay, the 2 Dr. J's.
Mhm.
You'll be taking that, you'll get the best night's sleep of your entire life. Then there are ways that we're going to experience staying alkaline throughout the day, supplements that he's created, supplements that we are all, both of them and all of them are Dr. J and Dr. J approved. Just something as simple as wheatgrass. Something that simple
Mhm.
can make all the difference. Then we've got, I forgot, Dr. Glenn Ryan, and he's famous. He's like the Einstein of today. He is a biophysicist, quantum energy expert, and electromagnetic engineer, PhD from the University of London. And he's going to say how we can bring that energy to ground us. Then we've got David Dennis, who's going to be talking about, I could just call him a soil entrepreneur. Uh, After I get off of this podcast, and graciously and thankfully, I was here with you. David Dennis and I are going to do a taping session. We're going to go ahead and, as he said, the soil engineer, he has figured out a process of putting more bioavailability into the soil instantly. And guess what? Even with organic food, if the bionutrients don't get back in the soil, it's not as organic as it was the first time. But what if we had a process you could put bioavailability and all the essential minerals right there on the spot? It's there. What will that do to your soil? And he's figured out a ways that, even as large as my desk is here, that acreage would feed a family of four.
That's amazing.
That's what we're going to hear, those secrets of people at the top of their field really wanting to give healthpedia, as I'm saying, the name of encyclopedia. And that's what we're doing here.
Yeah,
And
so
that's what you
we're
can do with us.
yeah, so we're going to be walking in the morning. We're going to be learning about how to alkalize our body. We're going to be learning how to feed ourselves better, how to grow food, right? Is that what he's going to be
Yes,
teaching? Okay,
yes,
we're gonna be
yes.
learning. How about the meditation part? I'm going to be learning mindfulness and
We'll
what
be
about?
meditating.
Mhm.
We'll be meditating twice a day. You will learn the five. Why learn about health when you can experience it? Nutrition, supplementation, exercise, sleep, because you'll get a good night's sleep with that VGuard Thursday night. Then you go to guidance, meditation, and prayer is very important. And then you come back to physiotherapy from Dr. Jim's client who's down in Pompano Beach. We are bringing up one of their acupuncturists. You'll have the availability in between sessions to get a chair massage to loosen yourself up, and then you can go back up because I want to just perhaps say two things as we wind this amazing opportunity, Noah, because you just have a way. You have a way of going in and seeing the needle in the haystack where other people would just say, oh, there's a haystack. You find the needle in the haystack. You bring out the best in people, Noah. Thank you for this opportunity.
Of
But you
course.
see, when we bring that needle in the haystack for you, see what I need and what somebody else needs is just one, but we're going to share it. We each have two. Then you have that aftercare. We will be creating a healthpedia masters mastermind. I know it's an overused word, but if
Mhm.
we're true masters of this weekly time that we can get together in the six pillars of health, what will that be like until we get together again in Vale and we do bigger, better, stronger, more empowered?
I love that.
Because
That's
you
amazing.
look at our meme. I've always said, if you want what I have, do what I do to get what we got. Because you'll see this meme. Dr. Jim is in a Speedo. I'm in a bikini, and we're running down the beach with our bobblehead dolls. I said, if we want what we have, do what we do to get what we got. Be in Boca. Why? So you know the keys to your health kingdom.
I
The
love
key is
that. And
the
I and
key is
go ahead.
The key is waiting. So, what if you just held hands with the universe for just a little while? What if you could learn the keys of when stress comes in, how you can eliminate it once and for all, or have it dissipate so you can go back into the flow? Because if you learn the keys, what causes stress in the first place? Would you avoid it? Would you avoid that cul-de-sac, that dead end, that detour? Of course you would. You've you have got creator given talents and abilities. We all have that uniqueness. So if you knew that, so just hold hands with the universe just for a little while and
And
see.
hold hands with us, right? Because we're going to be here
Yes.
holding your hand. So, Dr. Jodie, I always say, take care of your body so your body can take care of you. And I really believe that is so important for our well being and our long
Oh,
term health. Tell me really quickly before we end a couple of things that I still need to get. Number one is, what is your legacy? What legacy? Because I know you're going to do this big event here. You're going to Colorado. You're going to California. What is the legacy of Healthopedia?
this is the legacy. Because when I look at these authors, and this just happened, I didn't know this, but of these 40 authors, do you know half of us are in the wisdom stage, in the baby boomer era? The rest are 45 and younger. It was the divine model when I knocked on Hulda Clark's door and I said, what if I'm the person at a young 29 to carry your legacy far after I'm gone? We all have a graduation date from this world, but how about that we that have the wisdom are passing it on to the next generation? And I looked at the book that we're doing with the essence of a woman with women's health. We have the happy hormone doctor. Dr. Glenn Depke is in his young 40s, and he's teaching women how to get through perimenopause if they have two symptoms. They can't get pregnant and they don't have a period. Now, Won't those be good to kind of lead by the wayside? You don't have to have those symptoms. He's a young 40s taking this message to the world. And Dr. Kalila with her wisdom. And then after that will be real men are aware, those real men that really want to do it the right way in relationship. That's the new man. And there are men, one of my sons will be writing in the book. We have two young men in their 20s that said, I want to be a part of this.
So there's more books coming, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me the names of the two books that are coming really fast.
We're on the process. We're a third of the way through the essence of a woman. It's all women's health. And then we will be launching at Vail. It'll be September that we will be compiling the real men are aware. It's a men's book, ladies before women, and there will be something that will come into my mind in the universe. Jamie Kerr, one of our millennial amazing authors, 34, is coming from the UK to Boca, and he said the next place we've got to do next year at this time, it's a Mediterranean island location. Could you get into that, Noah?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I would love that. So all books are with the pillar of health in mind. So all the books are going to be with the pillar of health to make the world a better place. So how can people connect with you, Dr. Jodie, before we finish? And we will have to do another interview because there's just so much information that we want to share.
And then we're going to do a little exercise I'm going to do with you. I want up on the screen with you for sure. But you can connect with me at www.drjodee, it's JODEE.com, healthpedia365.com, IG the same way, or old school. If you want one of those half price tickets, while supplies last, we have 10 more to go. It is 1-800-820-0584. So I want to see the double screen one more time. I want you to put your hand on your heart, Noah, because this is what you do. You feel your heart beating, you feel the pulse, but then you take your left hand, put it over your right. What happens to your pulse? It gets stronger, doesn't it? Because just like you and I here, Noah Crane, we need each other. And we need each other to go that compound effect to be the world changers and the world healing tour and just heal the world. One life at a time, beginning with yours. Thank you, Noah, for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much. And I agree with you. I think my legacy as well is to leave the world better than I found it. So thank you for the work you're doing. It's incredible, Dr. Jodie. And I'm so grateful for you and so looking forward to spending time with you in Boca Raton at the process. And I hope you all join us. Thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you. Have a great healthpedia kind of day.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. I want to thank you all today for joining us at the World Healing Tour podcast. Until next week, please remember to have a grateful heart, to ground in love and compassion, and always know you're not alone. You're guided by God. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Namaste.